You know that feeling when you're surrounded by people who seem to have figured it out. They talk about their careers with certainty, their purpose with conviction, and you smile. You nod, but inside, there's this quiet ache you can't quite name. You've done everything you were supposed to do. The degree, the job, the responsibilities, and yet something still feels missing, like you've been living someone else's life this whole time. You look in the mirror some mornings and wonder, when did I stop dreaming? When did surviving become enough? You tell yourself it's too late now, that the window has closed, that reinvention is for the young. But what if? What if the story you've been telling yourself about time isn't true? Today, I want to share something with you. Not a lecture, not a formula, just a story about a woman who believed exactly what you might be believing right now. A woman who thought her chance had passed, who felt invisible in her own life, until one ordinary moment changed everything. This isn't about motivation, it's about truth, and sometimes the truth arrives when we least expect it. Her name was Elena. At 42, she had built a life that looked complete from the outside. A stable job in insurance, a small apartment with neat furniture, a routine that rarely changed. She woke up at 6, made coffee, commuted, worked, came home. Weekends blurred into each other. Her colleagues respected her. Her family called her reliable. But Elena had a secret. Every night, before falling asleep, she would think about the paintings she used to create in her 20s. The colors, the textures, the way time disappeared when she held a brush. She had been good, really good. Her professor once told her she had a rare gift, but life happened, bills, expectations. The practical voice of her mother, saying, art doesn't pay rent. So she folded that dream like an old letter and tucked it away. Years passed. The brushes dried out in a box she never opened. Elena convinced herself she had made the right choice. Stability was better than risk. Comfort was better than chaos. But comfort started feeling like a slow suffocation. She would scroll through social media and see artists her age thriving, their work in galleries, their stories of late blooming. And she would think, that could never be me. Because to try again meant admitting she had given up, and that shame was heavier than any canvas. Then came the day that broke something open. Elena turned 40-2. No party, no celebration, just a quiet dinner alone with a store-bought cake. She sat at her table, staring at the single candle, and for the first time in years, she cried, not gentle tears, deep, heaving sobs that came from somewhere she had been ignoring. All those years of someday, all those mornings of not yet, all those nights of it's too late, they crashed into her at once. She thought about her mother, who had died, never pursuing her own dreams. She thought about colleagues who retired with regret in their eyes. She thought about herself at 23, promising, I'll come back to this. 20 years taught 20 years of waiting for permission that would never come. She looked at her hands, the same hands that once created beauty. Now they just typed reports, filed claims, signed documents that meant nothing to her in that moment. Elena felt something she had avoided for decades. The full weight of her unlived life, and it was almost unbearable. But sometimes, when we finally stop running from the pain, it becomes a doorway. Elena sat in that silence for a long time, and slowly, thought emerged. Not loud, not dramatic, just quiet, clear. What if being late isn't the same as being too late? She thought about trees that bloom in different seasons, some in spring, some in autumn. The autumn tree doesn't apologize for its timing. It simply blooms when it's ready. Maybe purpose isn't a train you miss. Maybe it's a river that's always flowing, and you can step into it whenever you choose. Elena realized something profound that night. She hadn't been waiting for the right time. She had been waiting to feel ready. But readiness doesn't come before action. It comes from action the next morning. Elena didn't quit her job. She didn't make dramatic declarations. She did something smaller. She found that old box of brushes, dusty, neglected, waiting. She bought a cheap canvas from the dollar store, and she painted for 20 minutes before work. That's it. 20 minutes. The painting was terrible, amateur, rusty, but her hands remembered something her mind had forgotten: the joy of creating without judgment. She made a quiet commitment. 20 minutes every morning. No exceptions. Some days, the paintings went in the trash. Something surprising emerged. She didn't post them online. She didn't tell anyone at first. This wasn't about external validation. It was about keeping a promise to herself. Slowly, things shifted. Her commute felt different when she knew colors waited at home. Her job felt more bearable when it wasn't her whole identity. After 3 months, she joined a small community art class, not to become famous, just to be around others who understood. At 43, she sold her first painting. $60. It wasn't life-changing money, but when she held that cash, she wept because it meant someone valued what she created. Someone saw beauty in her late beginning. Elena is 47 now. She still works her insurance job, but 3 evenings a week. She teaches art to other late starters, women in their 50s, men in their 60s, people who believed the lie that purpose has an expiration date. She tells them what she learned in that dark apartment on her 42nd birthday. You are not too late. You are right on time, your time. And here's what I want to leave you with today. The years are going to pass, whether you begin or not. 5 years from now, you will be 5 years older. The only question is, will you be 5 years closer to yourself? You don't need to change everything. You just need to start something small, something honest, something yours. So, I'll ask you this. What have you been waiting to begin? And what would happen if you started today? I'd love to hear your answer in the comments. Not for me, for you. Because sometimes writing it down makes it real.